Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jax on the channel, the Jaxster, and we haven't done one of these in a while. It's a Minecraft Tuesday quick tip video. Some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, I got up here on the wall, is snowballs and redstone clocks. I want to keep these kind of simple. I've been wanting to do a snowball farm for Bedrock Edition for a while, and the method I want to use still doesn't work quite right. It's changed a little bit, so I just come up with another one while I was playing with it. And I do have two other farms that I want to show off, and I'll leave the Reddit links to those farms. But let's get on with it, because usually these are short videos. This is not going to be a tutorial. If you guys do want a tutorial for any of these farms, you could check out for the other two on the Reddit links. But I don't think they're tutorials. So just let me know. Leave down in the comments if you want a tutorial. I'll be glad to do one on one or all of the three farms. They're not too hard, so I think you could probably get the gist of them by just watching this tips video. So let's get on with it. This is my snow golem prism. These are the contestants, 1 through 5. Well, actually, this is Warren. He was the original guy this is my farm that I've been working on. So, and then these are the other contestants, 1 through 5, and then we'll make him Uno Primo or whatever. And then number 6, he's going to be flying. But anyway, we got a clock over here, and I'll come back to the clock. I'll show you the different clocks. Normally, the clock I use is just a negative comparator clock. And negative meaning that you're turning it off. Some people call it a subtract mode. So negative or subtract mode, either one. And all that does is, once you get a signal out of here, it reads a signal from this direction coming into the comparator, and it goes back out. And then once it's fed back in, it just repeats. It keeps going until it's turned off, the redstone signal. And as you can see here, we're just feeding it back, and we're going up into this piston here. So again, really simple clock. You can look from here and see how it's built. The only thing I would say, sometimes you might need a little more distance from the item that you're going to be trying to clock, like this piston here. So if you set this up and it doesn't work, maybe you need to make the distance just a little bit farther, like two more ticks away, so 2 more pieces of redstone away from whatever device you're trying to use a clock on. And we've got the same clock over here. There's another clock. We're going to do the clocks, I guess, first to start out with. This is another clock that when you turn it on by I'm powering it with a lever. And what it does, it pulls the redstone block. There's a redstone block behind here, and it comes back and it sends a signal through here and over there both. We don't need this repeater here. I was just testing to slow this down to see if it made any difference. But so anyway, back to this clock. You got a redstone block in the back of it. This is a sticky piston, and so when it comes back, it powers this signal here to repeat into the piston and into this other piston too. It's just where happen to be powering 2 pistons, but so this is a pretty fast clock actually. The comparator clock over here that I'm using, normally use, seems a little bit slower. So if you're playing on a server, this may be a little bit laggier on a server than the other clock over there. And then there's this old school clock that you just use some 4 repeaters, and you just place it down as if they were going into a circle. You kind of see this looks like an arrow, so that kind of means that's the direction it's going. And then you need 4 pieces of redstone dust, and I didn't give myself the other 2 items I need. Okay, so let me do that real quick. Let's go switch back to game mode, creative, and I want 2 things real quick. I did give myself the shovel, but I forgot to give the other 2 items. So a redstone torch, we only need 1, and a lever, just 1. And I'm going to show you how this works. So let's go ahead and switch back to survival. So what you do is, once you got this built, you want to place down a redstone torch real quick and break it. And now we got this repeating clock. It's a little bit slower You know, and you can put your output on any of those or all 4 of the directions if you wanted to. So, but it's a pretty easy clock to build too. You don't need to go to the nether and get any quartz. You just need some redstone and build some torches. And I think it's a smooth slab or a slab that you need. It's just a regular slab, stone slab. They keep changing the name of the blocks, but that's all you need for a repeater. So it's pretty simple. Let's say you want to do it differently. You don't want to use a redstone torch. This is another option. We'll put that piece back down, and that's how you break it also. We'll go over here, you put down a lever, and you got to flick it fast. There you go. And then we can turn it off. That locks it. But the only bad thing about this, you're going to have to break it to restart it. We can't just go here and restart it. So break it. And there we go again. So that's another clock. So here, under 6 minutes, I've showed you 3 different clocks that work in the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. Now, the whole reason I was going to do this video to start with, and I was going to do a tutorial, was for the snowballs. But, you know, there's been a lot of them done, and after I went and built this, I wanted to check to make sure to see how the snowballs were being made by other people and stuff. And mine's a little bit different. You can see the same principles maybe in some other videos, but my setup is a little bit different probably than some other people. So I'm not going to say it's my own unique or anything like that. And then we have these 2. Let's start with this one. I like these guys to get to 5, and you could do this up to 15 long if you maybe incorporated some more and a repeater to extend the signal. You may even be able to go longer, or maybe set it on the other side, have 2 setups. But all I'm doing is I get pistons here, and they're raising the snow golems up into the solid block above them. Actually, they're already in a solid block. The only block they're not in is the bottom one, and I can show you guys that tip next. But so we over here again. We got the same clock that I was talking about before, the comparator clock. So let's go back over here, and I'm going to turn that on. And then we got snowballs, and all they do is they're coming out. Now you might lose some in the back because they're going to spit out wherever they can go. So back behind the pistons, there's probably some that's being lost back there. But this is a thing that you can kind of just let go. And right here on this button, looks like we're using losing FU2. The button's there to stop the water from flowing, but you can stand here and be able to get those, so you wouldn't actually lose them. And then once you're done, just turn it back off. Snow golems will come back down here, and you see there was none in here to start out with. It's pretty fast, and they're still coming in. Let's see what we got over here. 6, okay. So, you know, just a few seconds, we've got almost 7.5 stacks. That's pretty good, but that is 5 snow golems too. And we are using 2, 4, 5 pistons. So, you know, if you want to set this up and you're going to be doing a lot of snow builds, or you want snow for some reason, then that might be the way for you to go. But if you're just needing a little bit, I've got this set up over here. We've got a sticky piston into a slab. And the reason we need this slab is because it's going into the snow golem, which won't hurt him, and it breaks the slice of snow here. And so when it breaks the snow, it becomes a snowball, and then it will go into to the chest. Now I have 2 here, and the reason for that, sometimes when you're the clock is working and it's pulling back and forth, you would get more snowballs on top of this side too. They would come out. I didn't have any coming out from the side, so we didn't lose any that way. And since it's only a slab here, it will still go down into the hopper. So let's turn that on, and you can check that out. So we're not losing any, but well, now that I say that, we are. I think. Do I have an open space back there? I might have an open space back there. Let me check that. But you can see this snowballs are still coming in. It looks like they're building them back here. Let me turn him off. And we're going to go back in creative mode again. And let's pick block this glass. Yeah, there's no glass. That's my fault, guys. There should have been a piece of glass there, so the snowballs couldn't have got over there. I don't necessarily need this next piece of glass, and since that's glass, it still will open up. Okay, so let's take all those out. put our glass there. Don't necessarily need this piece of glass, but I built it that way, so we'll keep it that way. So let's go back over. Got it turned on. Again, it's working like I was talking about. We shouldn't be getting any snowballs over there. Shouldn't be getting anything from the back either, because it's pretty much a solid wall. So everything should be coming out, going down into these two hoppers and into this chest. Let's break that back. Okay. Now let's switch back over to survival. And the reason I wanted to show you this is survival. The snow golem's going back and forth, but let's turn him off. Okay, they kind of tend to want to come to corners. I don't know why that is. You'll see a lot of farms showing that they need to push him to a corner. That's why I done this one. You don't need to do that, to push him in a corner to get snowballs. But say we wanted some of just the snow slabs. That gets the snowballs. Left clicking. If you right click though, since I have Silk Touch, we should be able to get some okay. That's weird. I got Silk Touch, and I thought I could Silk Touch those layers, snow layers. Okay, well, somebody wants to let me know if that changed or if I'm just thinking of something different. But used to, I thought with Silk Touch on a shovel, you could get the snow layers. But it's no matter. You can still make snow blocks and then get the layers from that. So anyway, if you didn't have, say, the piston yet, you needed some more iron or whatever, you could set this up so you could still get it. And even if you didn't have the hoppers, just put the snowman in this type of setup, and then you can come later and fix that. Maybe set this up one layer down, and then break the block so he falls down onto the hoppers. But that's okay. I really thought I am in survival. I know you have to be in survival for that. Okay. Well, anyway, let's go on, and then I'll show you this other one. This is another Reddit. This one I found on Reddit too, and this one also. This one was pretty cool. They were using it for a prank, but still, another way to get snowballs. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'll show you this clock while we're at it. You see it seems a lot faster. And all we're doing here, you could use the other clocks. They work too, by the way, because I did test them. We could even slow it down here just so you can see. It still works. But the aim is different, so you might have to put your wall a little different, a little farther away for that to work. So let's go ahead and switch it back here. And you can see the redstone block coming out with this type of clock. I'm going to turn this off and show you what I got. I'm going 4 blocks away. That's why I have these slime blocks here, just so we can see the distance. Don't necessarily need the slime blocks for that, but you do need it for the snow golem to set on. And then at the 6th block away, and I'm coming up, see his height, 1 block above his height, basically the height of the snow golem itself over here. On the 6th block, I've got 2 layers of panes, and that's using this clock. Again, you might need to adjust the panes, like come down 1 lower if you're running a slower clock. But you do need to have the area cleared out around him. I did find out, I tried to make a clean enclosure around him, and seemed to be affecting whether this worked or not. So if you build this and it's not working, you may need to clean out the area, because on the Reddit showcase, it basically is just showing him with the redstone, with the piston and the slime block, and then these 4 pieces of glass and him encased in it, and then the snow just flying everywhere, the snow layers. So that's something to keep in mind. We've done this. This has been a long tips video for me, 14 minutes. So I apologize about that, guys. But I think there was a couple good topics that we covered in here. So, and one last thing I need to mention is when that flake snow layer falls down, it's hitting this button, and that's converting it into an entity of a snowball. Otherwise, it would stay as the layer like they did over here. So, just to show you one more time, and it breaks those snow layers into snowballs. And then you could probably get by with less pistons if you wanted. And then this is showing up here. So starting out, I would recommend this build. If you're wanting to prank or maybe make some snow layers, this is not a bad build either. It's actually not that many resources. And then if you're wanting to build something up for a long-term, say you got a snow shop or something, this setup might work better for you. And like I said, you could even extend this up to 15 in one line. And you'd have to work your water a little bit to make it do that. And but it's still not complicated. And then, or you could do it on two sides, back to back. Make it really simple with even just using one clock. But guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you want to come back and see more stuff like this. I've been not having this many videos out, but I want to keep making videos. So you guys subscribe. That gives me inspiration to keep going, and we'll keep going. You can always share the videos. I'll try to make sure everybody can see them so that everybody can have these farms or tips to be able to play better in the game. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you if you come back for the Bedrock video on Friday.